where I've stopped at. The main drain is over here, so I got to make this corner right around this corner here, and then go down to the main drain, and there's the sink drain from the kitchen sink will tie in right around this corner to the main drain. I've already got it ran over here to this, that truss right there. So I'll have to just tie it in once I get around the corner there. But on back from there is where I came over yesterday evening and got a good bit accomplished. Sorry if you see my shadow there. Not a whole lot of lighting down here. So right here, so as you can see, we've got a 3-inch coming in right here, and then a 3-inch coming in right here, and then a 2-inch coming in right here. So in order to accommodate, as if all of those were flowing at the same time, I stepped up to a 4-inch here, which is what the main drain is. I wanted to I didn't want to overload this pipe once it got from here on. So I stepped it up to a 4-inch there. So this is going over to the hallway, bathroom, toilet. That is not the elbow that I'm going to use. That's just one that I use temporarily. None of this is glued. Just use this one temporarily just to kind of line up where that toilet drain goes, where it goes through the floor. And this is the vent leg that comes off of it, and it will actually run over to this wall right here. There's an actual wall cavity right there that it'll run up through, tie into the vent. And so then you come over here, and this right here is the drain for the sink in the hallway bathroom. So it comes over here and stubs up, and if you see that hole I drilled in the floor there, that's where it goes up through into that wall cavity. So that's for the hallway bathroom. So then we come back here on the 3-inch, all the way back. We put a clean out in where it changes direction. It's going up with slope. Right here, it's kind of in a bind right now. I have to do a little more straightening up with all the pipes and stuff before I glue them, mark them, and everything. So, and then right here we got this leg coming off. This goes over to the shower drain. It runs back across this beam above the seal plate, and then back over to the shower drain. And then we come up to this leg here. This goes over to the bathroom, the master bathroom sink drain, and the drain from the laundry sink. So this one, that's where it goes to. So then we come on back, and then this right here is the vent leg that comes off, and you can see it kind of goes around and turns and goes up through that wall cavity. It's a vent leg for the toilet, which is just right here on the other side of the beam. I need to go get me some 90s to 90 it up into there. Not sure. I think I may on this one, since that's such a long run down through there to the next clean out. I probably end up doing a clean out right here at the base of this toilet. So I'll put a clean out right, out here on the edge of this pipe, just to be able to snake that out if I need to. So there's that shower drain I was talking about. It keeps running, and that hole right there is actually for the vent for the shower drain. I'll come over to right about in here. I'll come off with a Y, and then come over and then turn up through the floor right there, up into that wall cavity for that vent leg. And then this pipe will actually extend on over to where this hole is drilled, and that's where the shower drain will be. And it looks, you're probably asking, why is it all the way against the outside wall? We plan to do a linear drain in that shower, and we're going to do a zero curb shower. So the floor will actually be sloped toward that wall and toward that drain. So that drain will actually be against that wall. And it'll be just like a trough. And it will feed all into the center of that trough and then drain down. And then there will be a trap and all right there. So I just stopped that pipe short for now. And we'll continue it on once we get our drain actually put in. And so right here is the vanity drain. We're we're kind of off of our line there a little bit, off of our mark a little bit, but I can get it back over here. It's got some flexibility to it still where it's not glued, so it runs down across the beam over to here, and then 45s, and then comes into this Y right here, and then this right here comes up and goes into the laundry sink drain. So that's where those are draining to. And then there is also our washing machine drain. That's what these Ys are for. There's a vent leg there. Come over here and it'll vent up through this wall. So off of that vent leg, and then this right here will actually be a drain, and that could serve as the vent for it, the drain for the washing machine, which will go up through the floor right there. And it'll go up to its trap and the box and everything for the washing machine. So that's where I've gotten to so far on this side of the house. And like I said, I'll put that clean out right here where it changes direction, and then it'll go down the length of this wall. And we have right here coming from the kitchen sink is the pipe coming from over there. It'll tie into the drain here, and then it will run down the length of this wall with pitch, and then it'll turn right here, make a 45, and then come in 45 back into the main drain. So that's the plan. Hopefully it works out good. Another thing is I went over this before we poured the floor. I went ahead and put my toilet flange in for the downstairs toilet. And this is the vent slash sink drain for this downstairs half bath. This actually will serve as the vent for the toilet, but also the drain for the sink. And in order to do that, I had to step it up to a 2-inch, which I've been running all of my sink drains and shower drains with 2-inch. It's a little bit more cost, but it's, to me, I think it makes more sense, and it keeps it from blocking up as bad. Now, where I stub it out and under the cabinet, I'm probably going to size it down to 1.5 inches on all my sink drains and also sink drains are to be 1.5 inches. I think is what the code is. So where they come out through the wall and under the cabinet will be 1.5 inches, but the drain that they're feeding into is going to be 2-inch. So what I need to do here is I need to 45 it again with a street 45 because I'm getting pretty close to that wall. I 45'd it back, and then I'll 45 it with a street 45 to just come straight up this wall. And then it will tee out with a sanitary tee and under the sink there. And I'm probably just going to put like a utility sink down here in this bathroom, because this bathroom is just for down here for when I'm working down here. I plan to make this area a woodworking shop. So, and then I need to come off the top of that tee with the vent. So then I need to bring that vent all the way up, and I need to go over and tie it into the rest of the vents where it goes out, feeds out through the roof somewhere. So I still need to figure out where I'm going to go with that. I hadn't figured it out just yet, but shouldn't be a huge deal to figure out. I could probably just about, that area above here is not, very closed or opened up, so there's a few wall cavities I can go up through fairly easily. If I wanted to just bring it up this wall, step it up over the seal plate, and then go up through that exterior wall there, I could, and then tie it in up in the attic somewhere. It wouldn't be a huge deal to do. And I just have to figure that out once we get all the walls up. But so for now, I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse here and let you watch me try to get this all put together and tied into the main drain there. So catch you on. see how that goes together. It's not a lot to it, just as long as you keep enough pitch going down hill toward the drain, toward the main drain. So I would have liked for this to have been a little bit longer here on this 45 and then 45 down. But I mean, that right there seems like that'll work. We still got fall on this pipe here, and we got fall all the way back up to the corner to the clean out there. So it all should drain pretty good. And to give you an idea, I mean, you can see if you line it up, that mud line on those block are level. So you can see that it gets wider and wider and wider and wider as it gets down to here. So you can see that we got fall without even throwing a level on it, really. So I do still need to tie this in right here. I have a piece of 4" by 4" by 2" Y right here for that. So I'll get back up on there and I'll mark where that needs to be cut out, pull that pipe back out, and then tie that in right about in there somewhere. And then that'll have that kitchen sink draining there. So the kitchen sink drain is kind of a work in progress thing. So our kitchen sink is actually out in the island right here. And I'm not talking about like the Bahamas. It's on the island in our kitchen. So what we need to do, what I'm gonna have to do is do my bow vent that I talked about in the previous episode. Well, I'm gonna have to bring that vent back down through this floor and then pipe it over to a wall somewhere. We'll go upstairs and I'll show you what walls would be the best candidates and what ones that wouldn't work out. So I had originally planned to bring it from, so right there's the sink drain. I can't really see the camera real well, but right there's the sink drain. I was going to bring the vent, bring it up, bow it, take the vent back down through the floor right here. And then I was going to run it right along with the drain over to this wall here. And then come up through this wall. But you see there's a problem. That's a load bearing wall supporting the second floor. And we've got a girder across there. So there's no way to get it through that up and out of the ceiling. And this is there is to be a framed in opening right here for a doorway. I guess I could bring it through this triple right here, but I don't want to cut through that because that's load bearing. That's not going to work. So my idea now is I'll bring it from the sink drain over here where my foot is. I'm going to bring it up, bow it, go back down through the floor, run right along with the pipe, and then what I'm going to do, it's going to follow the pitch of the pipe, and then I'm going to tee off of the pipe right there and actually drain back into the pipe, Y back into the drain pipe from the vent pipe, and then bring the vent pipe around this way, come along and under the trusses there, and bring it up through this wall and take it all the way up into the attic space there through this wall. That's the plan. I don't know how well it's going to work. We're kind of in a bad spot right there because we've got load bearing, non-load bearing, but trusses in the way to get to this one. So it's going to be kind of some figuring out to do to get it where it needs to go. But I'll figure it out. It's all just a riddle. You got to figure the riddle. So if you look, so right there is about where the sink drain is. So the bow vent will go back in under right here. And then if you drop down below right here, you can see right there's that drain pipe. and I was going to try to run the vent pipe right along top of that. And I would like to have some fall from this wall here, back here to there, but it's looking like I'm going to have to keep it pretty level. They want the vent pipe to have fall. So the vent's going to get rained in. It's going to need a place to drain. So what I'll probably do is just tuck it right up against these trusses in this chase here, bring it straight over, and then turn it up through somehow into this wall. I don't know how I'm going to do that because you can't drill through the truss. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Figure it out one way or another. I may have to route it to a different wall. I don't know. So, but anyway, you got to get an idea there of how the plumbing system's going to work in this house. It's not really a lot of plumbing in this house, to be honest. I mean, we've got two separate drains coming into the main line there, but it's not a lot really. It all should work just fine. Hopefully, the inspector thinks the same. So we'll see. I'm going to give him a call. Let him come and check everything, see what he thinks about how I've got it routed and how everything's got the right pitch to it. These pipes here have actually a little too much pitch on them, but I'm kind of handicapped there as far as I've got to get them above that beam over there. So I have to go with a good amount of pitch to get them up to that beam in this span. I guess what I could do is I could tuck that clean out on up into that truss bay right there, and then come down with fall so far until we get to this bottom cord of this truss, and then 45 it down, then 45 it out again. I guess I could do that just to keep from having that much fall. But in this one here, I can drop it down a good ways and then just run the pipe straight up through. So it's not a huge deal at all on it. The biggest concern on it's going to be this vent leg right here, clearing that cord of that truss, that web of that truss. So anyway, I'll get the inspector in here, let him check it out, see what he thinks, see if he can make heads or tails of it. He should be able to point me in the right direction if I'm not already headed that way. So we'll see what he says, and I'm going to set this camera up again and let it just sit here in time lapse while I'm marking all this, getting everything leveled and getting it ready for glue. Then won't be nothing to do but glue it to it. Till then, y'all keep checking back.